Well, as you can see from the title, you've also noticed in the timeline, I just keep avoiding making videos. That was the dog. Those were the pictures you saw leading in. We're all in the back. I have gotten a good chunk of way through my purge process, and about the last week I've taken a break because I got as far as I could get without actually knowing how all this is going to end. So I'm just doing a checking in video. I'm not going to be giving you any kind of specific insights on any particular topic. So for those of you who are trying to get a fact, you're in the wrong place on the wrong day, because I just don't have any. So we're going to take a quick break, and I will see you on the other side. I have been avoiding making videos because I keep trying to fix what is going to be chronically and forever broken within me. And that is this, radical concept of focus and consistency. And I just don't have it. And, I've talked about my, kind of ADHD brain, and I've talked about all kinds of things, but it's just not getting any better as I get older. And it's really not getting better because, of course, the wind had to start blowing because I was here to make a video. And there's actually nowhere I can go to get out of the wind, because if I don't get up at the crack of dawn to do these, I am awake, but I'm not recording. There's wind. So with that said, I hope you will be able to tolerate the background noise. So there's just a lot of reasons why I keep getting stuck in this process. And the real absolute bottom line truth of it is it's not my favorite thing to do. It's my favorite thing that I could do in a different world with a different set of circumstances and a different life. But with my life, my limitations, my circumstances, and what's going on around us, it's just really difficult. It does not inspire creativity, and my frustration is greater than my capacity to be focused and consistent. And one of the things I absolutely know to be true is without focus and consistency, without knowing why you're watching a video, just like in the title, why watch a video? So there'll be like a handful of people who know me from a long time ago, just checking in to see how things are going. And I don't know about you, but like I said in the last video, it is just super crazy pressure, insane. And the one thing that I keep coming back to is that if I'm feeling this way and I know what I'm supposed to do about it to not feel this way, both personally and professionally, and I'm struggling so hard to move forward and not let it get to me, I can't be the only one. And I know that's true. I don't know how many of you can resonate with my process through this, but today is a day where we're marking another demarcation point where there was a lot of speculation whether this would be the day that NATO poked the bear too hard and things went boom. And it's just really stressful. It's stressful to make decisions. It's stressful to know what to focus on. It's stressful to know how to make future plans. And it's stressful because there's so much uncertainty and the consequences are so gigantic. One wrong move, I could drive away and that would be the place I would be stuck forever. And if I was in a place with no water, what do you do, right? And so it is extremely stressful. And so just, at a personal level, I made the decision to sell the trailer, to dump all my stuff that I could get rid of, and to head out. Well, my trailer's not selling. I can't sell my truck until I have another vehicle. I just can't take that chance of having zero vehicle. I don't have the money to just take care of it one way or the other. So I can technically, live in my truck, but I don't really want to do that until I have a clear vision about what I'm doing and have a way to be focused and consistent, which is not emerging in my personal daily life at this point in time. But I opened the video with this steno. You know, this is how I keep my to-do list, and this is a blank one. I have my filled up one, and I showed you my dogs and what they're doing, and they're back here with me. And the positive is, you know, we created this open space back here, so they have a little place to play and hang out. Not that they don't do it, you know, everywhere else, but it creates a little bit of an opening for me that's not just in my one spot at the front of the trailer, you know, where I also sleep. So I've made some progress. I've made some decisions. I kind of have an idea, you know, how I want to move forward. But I wanted to just do this because I have to start. I am so stuck, you know, even at the point where, you know, I can't make the editing program I have work correctly, so I downloaded another one and I can't make that one really work. It's just a nightmare. You know, I can't see it. They're all different. You know, the screen everything's really tiny. You know, I miss my old system because I could see it. I knew how to use it. My energy wasn't being invested in all the minutia and details of technology that have hijacked my life. You know, you should see what I've got going on charging right now. You know, when I left, someone made a joke, what do you got, 5 watts? And I'm like, yeah, about that. You know, I have hundreds of watts I have to figure out how to charge with the cables and the plug-ins and doing this and doing that, and this one's breaking, and then that cord is going bad, and I'm like, how did I get here? Because I designed this whole trailer to be just manual and not electric, and all of it is related to this digital lifestyle. And I'm like, can I let go of this digital lifestyle? But I don't know how to let go of the digital lifestyle because this is where we all are, and I'm currently living out in the middle of nowhere, so there's no way for me to generate a job in this environment. The one I came back to do, you know, the online therapy, isn't an option. I can't get online to do it. I never thought I would do it again. I finally caved and said I would do it, and I can't do it. I can't set it up until I, you know, manage to move someplace maybe where I have access to internet that has enough speed that I can, you know, maintain a face-to-face. And so all of that is just tedious and irrelevant, you know, to my own particular little trauma and drama. But we're all going through that. You know, been observing how many people are talking about how tired they are. And, you know, we've got pollen going on. We've got these effing little things that are biting me. And so that's all histamine response, and histamine creates fatigue, and it's just, it's an assault. I have a whole new level of compassion for people who had to actually stay inside in the lockdown because we're hiding inside. The dogs, I've got them hiding because they're white. I can see the little black bugs all over them, and their little pink skin is like so many bites. You know, there's freckles, and like making formulas, trying to figure out how to keep the bugs off. It's been a full-time job. And I think they're finally starting to wind down. It just seems like there were a few less bugs the last 2 days. But it's been frustrating. It's been frustrating watching the news. It's been frustrating every single time, you know, we as America can say something to make things worse, to initiate, you know, nuclear devastation. We keep doing it. You know, and I keep asking myself this question. Do I stop paying attention and just go into oblivious, or do I watch and try to create calm within myself so I'm not getting sucked into all of this? Or I know what I don't want. You know, I don't want to be one of the people that's yelling louder and talking faster. All I know is I feel really stuck. And I thought, I cannot be the only person feeling that way. And I've been spending a lot of my calming myself down time having some new clarity. I told you 1 or 2 videos back that maybe it was just time for me to start asking better questions. And that's really been working for me. I don't know how it's working all for you, but there's some things that I haven't been willing to look at that I have now become willing to look at, but it's just so difficult to know what the motivation is because there's so much external influence pushing at us 24/7, 365. I mean, we are at such a moment, and there is no version that we move forward and everything is just going to be okay, or it's just going to be the way it was. And I don't know, how you guys think about your past, but I remember, at the beginning of my life, it was wildly stressful. My brain was crazy. I was crazy. I mean, life was very difficult for me, very painful. And it took me about 30 years to get in front of that. And I remember thinking, if I had known it would take 30 years to figure out, how I need to eat, how I need to change my thinking, how I need to manage my energy, how, was moving away from the civilized life and moving out to nature. If I had known all these pieces would take me so long, would I have still done it? And I don't know that you can't say no, right? Because I certainly couldn't sustain life as it was. And, right now the prediction and forecast models are prophecy, prediction, the computers, whatever you want to look at. We're looking at maybe 10 more years of whatever this is, with most of us not living through it. And it's hard to make decisions in the face of that kind of forecast. It's hard to accept that this is happening. It's hard to watch our leaders say and do the things they're doing, which are not remotely representative of who most of us are. I don't know anybody that wants nuclear war. So why would you push the button to make it happen? And we can understand why that's happening, but we can't really do a whole lot about it. And so a couple of the things where I have to just make peace with, in terms of you guys here and with myself, is that there's two ways to move through the world. There's thinking that you can fix the world outside and create what you want, or you've got to do it from the inside out. You've got to understand what you are doing and your energy and what you generate and how that creates the world that you experience. And never has there probably been a time for those of us who've lived in safety and comfort for so many years, been faced with so much overwhelming energy pushing at us, screaming, be very afraid, be very afraid, be very afraid, and all these people yelling faster and louder, and trying to listen through all the noise just to get some semblance of clarity about what might actually happen, so we can make decisions and not feel so stuck. But I just know that I don't believe that the world changes from the outside. I believe we change who we are. You've heard me, I'm process oriented, not outcome. I have an internal locus of control. I don't think trying to convince you to agree with me has any merit, right? And the best I can do is try to share what works for me and hope if that helps, then I've accomplished something. The other big aha that I have had is that I've talked a lot about what is the truth. And I've been stuck because what I keep saying is the truth sucks and nobody wants it. And we don't. And we're witnessing why we don't want the real truth, because we are allowing a handful of crazy people to blow us up. Nobody wants that, but we're unwilling to look inside to see why we're creating that on the outside. You can't stop the atrocities around you until you're willing to look at the atrocious within you. And that is an extremely difficult process. But what I really sunk in for me the last few days is that There's two ways forward when you're seeking truth. One is we seek truth because we want to be right. And those are all the people that are yelling louder and talking faster. I'm right, I'm right, I'm right. And then there's the way forward where we're seeking truth because we want to understand. And what I just came to understand, which I hadn't thought about before, seeking to understand doesn't mean agreeing with the other. Like if I am trying to understand why people create evil in the world, I'm not saying it's okay. And I'm not saying that that person needs to agree with me in my understanding of them. So for me, seeking to understand isn't about getting the other person to my side, because that's really needing to be in the right, I need to be right category. And that's a very difficult place to be, especially in a moment of incredible insanity and instability. And so those are fabulous ideas, and I believe that that's the real work we're here to do. But there's also a very practical reality right now that it's extremely difficult to make decisions, even as simple as I don't even know what to come and talk about right now because I can't edit. I have almost no access to regular internet to upload these things. I've got this much energy, and the two dogs who are sleeping right now don't sleep all the time. I'm surrounded by crap. I got to figure out a way to do it. I don't have a place to live. I'm, temporarily camping out. And, these are all the super practical things, but this is what I've chosen to do. And I don't know what else to do but to interact with people in the digital forum, because I'm not even physically mobile. I couldn't go drive around and talk to people if I wanted to, which I really would like to do, but I don't see that happening in the near future. For a lot of reasons, not just about me, but about what's going on. And so all I could really come up with this morning, and I've been thinking about it all day, like I need, days and days now, I've got to make a video. I want to make a video. I need to start functioning outside of my stupid little tiny life I built that is driving me crazy right now because it's so in process of transitioning to something else, but I don't know what it is. And right now I'm stuck because what I wanted isn't working. What's going on out in the world is scary as hell. And I'm in a bubble of uncertainty. And I'm not alone. And all that has created for me is this feeling of being stuck. And, I can only eat so much chocolate. I keep saying if the nukes are going off, I am having backup chocolate. So it doesn't matter if it's good for me or bad for me because the nukes are going off. So with that said, hang on. I wish I could show you these little effing bugs. Can you even see that? Can you see? I don't think you can see that. They're so tiny. Ugh, it won't focus. Let me see if I get my face out of the way. No, it won't focus. Anyways, it was biting the boy dog. That's been my full-time job. Touching and moving my stuff and then killing these little midgy flies. But with that, this went on way longer than I wanted to because I can't get them uploaded if they're too long. So at some point, I do have a lot of things, brewing, and I have ideas I'm trying to focus and put together, but I just feel so stuck. And I can't imagine that I'm not the only one that's feeling overwhelmed by everything that's happening, observing the insanity and feeling helpless. I can't do anything about it. All the while screaming inside, I don't want this, knowing that we have this undetermined future in front of us that we may or may not live to see on the other side. And so the real question isn't, for me at this point, what can I do? Because I really can't. I am stuck. it really for me is how am I going to move through this process in terms of how I want to feel? And I don't want to feel like this. So that's kind of what I've been focusing on, and how I can move myself out of this energy, which is really hard because there's so much pushing at us. So I don't know if that resonates or makes sense, but what we're going to do is we're going to just try and breathe. It's so heavy I can't even breathe. I'm just so like, ugh. So we're going to try to take a deep breath. I hope the wind noise wasn't too bad and you got through all the way to the end. I hope you're doing really well and are not being influenced by everything going on around you. If you are, hold that. Maybe I'll be able to join you sometime soon in the future. Deep breath, and I will see you next time.